Welcome, financial professionals. I'm Dan Peterson, co-CEO and managing partner here at E4 Insurance Services. Thank you for joining us on The Brew, where we build relationships and empower wins. Today, I'm going to walk you through our Streamlined long-term care process and give you an overview of our electronic long-term care pre-screening form, a tool we designed to help simplify the underwriting and quoting process for you and for your clients. I appreciate you joining the conversation. The LTC pre-screening form. Why does this matter? Well, advisors have been telling us that having the conversation about long-term care planning, they can bring it up, but many times it gets pushed down the road. Advisors meet with their clients to review financial results of their investments and what might happen in retirement. And it's important to start that conversation before the need for long-term care plan becomes urgent. 70% of Americans over the age of 65 will need some form of long-term care in their lifetime. Many times, what they will have may not last more than a year. If what causes the need for care doesn't end their life in that first year, though, then the average length of care is 3.8 years. What does the pre-screening form do? Well, first, it's simple and secure. It's HIPAA compliant. We have no identifiable information that we submit to the carrier. We scrub it and keep it all confidential as we go through the process. This is an online tool that clients complete before meetings, and it allows the advisor to have a simple and secure process and to have the conversation not just about long-term care planning, but what specifically the client can qualify for at the meeting, as opposed to pushing it down the road for follow-up meetings. What do you learn before the meeting? Well, the form gathers basic health information so advisors can narrow down strategies, whether that is a traditional hybrid long-term care plan, a standalone long-term care. It compares it to self-funding, life insurance with long-term care, and lastly, even annuities that have multipliers for long-term care purposes. What options are on the table in that first meeting? Why does it speed up the process? Well, advisors know earlier what's viable before the review meeting, as opposed to, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's set a follow-up and have another conversation. And you can become prepared with options aligned to client budgets and wishes. So how does the process work? Well, first of all, you or your assistant send a link to your client. The client can answer the questions, or you can even your assistant can answer the questions over the phone. You can ask the questions and complete the qualifier, but somebody just has to complete the basic information. As opposed to the carrier-specific forms, this is reflexive. They won't see a daunting list of questions. Only the questions will expand if they have a certain condition or medical history that needs to be fleshed out. So the client can complete the form. It comes back to us. We scrub any personal identifiable information off of it, and then we submit that to the carrier, and all of our carriers give us their response, which we then can present to you along with options and case design, along with our long-term care analysis tool. And then solutions are designed and quoted. The advisor and RVP, we review with you. We're there to help assist and present to the client, or you have that conversation with your client, and then move forward in a direction. We're seeing a big increase in the number of pre-screens that we're having come in since we developed this tool this year. We also provide you with emails and an entire sales kit that walks you through a ready-made email that you can modify, along with a link and questions that you're going to want to have your clients think about. Those are: who will provide your care should you need it? Where would you want to receive care if you should need it? And how would you pay for your care should you need it? Those are three questions to think about prior to your meeting, and it allows you to have the permission to bring up the subject as part of your overall review process on an annual basis with your clients. We have an LTC phone script, a conversational script to turn "we should talk about LTC someday" into a real discussion, helping you have easier conversations. Now, I want to go through the actual link of what the link, when you click on it, what is there? And we'll just do this. You have to have anything with a red asterisk has to be completed. And a husband and wife would have to each complete their own information. So general information. We're just entering some simple information, height and weight. Have you used nicotine? Surgeries that have not been performed? Have you had a physical? Were you previously declined? Have you ever been convicted of a felony? These are the general information. Are you currently receiving any following disability? None. Again, if it's a military, they can list their disability rating, percentages, any medical conditions. Now, the drop downs are, do they have a cardiac or valve disease? Have they had cancer? You know, if they do have, one of these, these are expandable, and it will go into additional questions that can be asked. And then when they're done, they simply submit the pre-screen, and any errors would come up. Cancer, no. Diabetes, no. Again, we're making sure that you haven't skipped over these. But it would show in red, and the answer is no, and they haven't had a stroke, no. Now, when they submit, still have one error here. No. Now they get the green button, and they submit, and our team receives this, and we work with you to put all of this together. So what is important about this pre-screen? Well, first of all, it helps you have easier conversations, and that's an important thing when you're meeting with your client. We have an entire pre-screening tool that you can use with links, the conversation starters, the step-by-step process guide, the invitation email that you can modify, the template, as well as details about your RVP support and case design available to you. We're seeing a huge increase in the number of pre-screen tools that are being used with this process, and it makes it less awkward and more natural during your client reviews. So what should you do next? Well, first of all, fill out a pre-screens tool for yourself. Have us pre-screen what options exist for you on your own life and your family. Look at your clients. Pick 3 clients this week, age 55 plus or nearing retirement, whose long-term care planning hasn't been completed. Send an email using the invitation template, letting them know that we're going to talk about this at our next meeting. Include that at least a couple months in advance. Have them think about the question. Use the link before the next review, and you're going to see amazing things that come from using this tool in your planning process. That's what we're bringing you from E4 Insurance Services. Please check out our new tool and make that part of your process. Thank you for spending time with us today. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss an episode. We release one on the first Wednesday of every month. Catch the episode and all past brewcasts in our library. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on The Brew.